Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. I am found, I am yours, I am loved, I'm made pure, I have life, I can breathe, I am healed, I am free. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord.
welcome to Reset Church. We're so happy you could join us, and God bless.
Walk a bit different now that my heart's moved on. Nothing really feels the same. I hold my head a bit higher, I lift my voice a bit louder. Yeah, something inside has changed. I am a mountain mover, water walker, more than just an overcomer. 'Cause I've been set free. I am a gospel preacher, heart on fire, freedom singer, testifier. 'Cause I've been redeemed. I am a believer. I am a believer. I know this is not my home. No, I don't walk alone. No matter what comes my way, I've peace through the trouble, I've joy through the struggle, and I know hope's in the bright day. I am a mountain mover, water walker, more than just an overcomer. 'Cause I've been set free. I am a gospel preacher, heart on fire, freedom singer, testifier. 'Cause I've been redeemed. I am a believer. I am a believer. I am a child of the Father, an orphan no longer, no matter who I am. I am the hands of the healer, the arms of the Savior. His grace makes me who I am. I am a child of the Father, an orphan no longer, no doubt of who I am. I am the hands of the healer, the arms of the Savior. His grace makes me who I am. I am a mountain mover, water walker, more than just an overcomer. 'Cause I've been set free. Yeah, I am a mountain mover, water walker, more than just an overcomer. 'Cause I've been set free. I am a gospel preacher, heart on fire, freedom singer, testifier. 'Cause I've been redeemed. I am a believer. I am a believer. I am a believer. I am a believer. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. All the over he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Bow down before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, bow down before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Thank you for your love, Lord. Thank you for your love, all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. You're so great. Great are you, Lord.
God bless you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful time praising God and worshiping with us. I hope you created an environment that was easy for you to praise and to worship Jesus with all your heart. And the songs really touched your heart, and the songs really connected you with Jesus Christ. I'm going to do a prayer, and we start right after that. Jesus, we thank you for everything you've done in our life. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for everything, dear God. We are going to start our preaching today. We ask you that you are with us and you speak to our hearts, and then we can apply what we learn today in our daily life. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray, amen. Vamos a empezar esta tarde y vamos a empezar diciendo que Dios es bueno. Espero que se hayan gozado y ya hicimos una oración, así que vamos a empezar. Había una vez, there was a time a soldier and his commanding officers were going to go on a trip and have to go on a train, and the only available seats that were on the train was across from a young pretty girl and a grandma. And so they decided to go together and they started a conversation. The soldier and the young woman kept eyeing each other. I mean, it was obvious there was some type of connection, the type of connection they had. Suddenly, the train went pitch black and the train was going through a tunnel. So it went black. Immediately, two sounds were heard. Number one, it was a kiss, a big old kiss, and number two, a slap in the face, a big old slap. The grandmother thought, I can't believe he kissed my granddaughter. But I'm glad she gave him the slap he deserved. She was proud that she actually slapped him. Remember, it was still pitch black. The commanding officer thought, I don't blame the boy for kissing the girl, but it's a shame that she missed his face and slapped me instead. The young girl thought, I'm glad he kissed me, but I wish my grandmother hadn't slapped him for doing that. And then the train started, the light started coming back on, and you can see the light coming up because they were going through the tunnel, finishing the tunnel, and the soldier couldn't wipe a smile and a smirk on his face. He had just seized the moment that he kissed the pretty girl, slapped his commanding officer, and had gotten away with both of them. So this soldier took advantage of the moment, kissed the girl, and at the same time somehow slapped his commanding officer. I read this online and thought it was pretty funny for me to share it to you today. I'm gonna say it a little faster in the Spanish version. Había un oficial y un soldado que se iban a montar en un tren. Estaba una muchacha bonita y una abuela y se tuvieron que sentar ahí a la par ellos dos. Comenzaron a conversar, de repente hubo un túnel y se puso todo negro. De repente se oyó simplemente un beso grande y una cachetada grande. Cuando pasó la cachetada, la abuelita pensó, no puedo creer que este muchacho haya besado a mi hija, a mi nieta, pero estoy contento que le dio la cachetada que se merecía. El comandante dijo, yo no culpo a este muchacho por besar a esa muchacha, pero esta muchacha falló al darle la cachetada porque la terminó dándomela a mí. La muchacha pensó y dijo, estoy contento que me besó, pero no entiendo por qué mi abuela le pegó la cachetada. Estaba todo oscuro todavía. Cuando comenzó a terminar el túnel y que se pudieron ver los unos a los otros, el muchacho estaba sonriente, y en lo que estaba sonriente pensó él y dijo, yo acabo de aprovechar este momento. Le di el beso a la muchacha que quería y le pegué una cachetada a mi comandante. Y nadie se dio cuenta. Este muchacho le dio el beso y le dio la cachetada a su comandante y nadie se dio cuenta de lo que había pasado. Aprovechó el momento en el que estaba pasando. So, I don't know about you, but when you see pictures, have you ever seen pictures of your family or of whoever, friends on your phone, and you immediately come back to those moments where the picture happened? Like you were on vacation, and usually this is happening in the winter, that you see those vacation homes by the beach and blue water, and you're like, oh man, I wish I was there. No sé si han visto fotos en las que cuando uno mira la foto, inmediatamente uno regresa a esos momentos y uno se acuerda de todos los detalles que acaban de pasar simplemente por ver esos momentos. Lo que ha pasado es que esas fotos han encontrado un momento en el cual te hizo recordar lo que estaba pasando, lo que había pasado. Y no importa cuánto tiempo haya pasado atrás, lo que pasó es que esta foto capturó what happened is that this picture captured the moment, and you were able to enjoy it at that moment, and you are able to enjoy it later on because you captured that moment. You kept it on a picture, so you can remember. Facebook does that, and Facebook does a better job, because Facebook reminds you 2, 3, 5, 10 years later of what had happened in the past, or what you have shared in the past. If you share a picture 10 years ago, it reminds you, it brings you back. And as soon as you see the picture, you are like, oh man, I remember this. It was 10 years ago. If you see your kids, it usually happens to me with my kids. And then when I see the picture, you're like, oh my goodness, I remember when they were so small. También cuando miramos fotos en Facebook que pasaron 2, 10, 5 años después, miramos estas fotos y podemos ver y podemos decir, oh my goodness, esos momentos fueron grandiosos, especialmente con nuestros niños, cuando los miramos pequeños, oh my goodness. So it brings you back to those moments where we're captured, and brings you back like it was yesterday. You can see it, you can actually almost be there just by looking at those pictures. I bet your mom or your grandma had some kind of like a different kind of version of Facebook, but they do. If you go to their house and you ask them, hey, can I see pictures of you when you were young, or pictures of when you were younger? And they're gonna bring this big old book. It's called an album. Sí, yo creo que tu abuela, tu mamá también tiene un poquito una versión de Facebook un poquito diferente, pero la tienen. Le preguntas si quiere ver sus fotos y te traen este álbum de fotos. And you see the pictures, and you see when they're smiling, and grandma or your mom see this picture, and they remind her of that moment, and they live the moment. Even though years gonna happen, year has passed by, they can still live the moment. And you know what's good about this is that they capture those moments, and they put caption to it. If you turn the picture around and look in the back, usually most of the times they have a caption that said, you know, my best friends at the beach in 1978, my best picture with my best friend 1962. So they used to keep a Facebook too. It was different, but they had a Facebook. But they were able to capture moments, and when they see it, they're able to be reminded of those moments, and they enjoy those moments that they had. Science says that our brain has a capability of retaining so much detailed information when you see an image. Our brain is able to capture image and brings us back to those moments when the picture was taken. It was a study done, and then to a group of people, 10,000 pictures were shown to them. Había un estudio, la ciencia dice que nuestro cerebro puede recordarse de muchas cosas, máximo si están en una foto. Hicieron un estudio donde enseñaron 10,000 fotos a toda la gente, a un montón de personas. Y de ese montón de personas, después les enseñaron, a los 2-3 meses les enseñaron 1,000. Pero dentro de esas 1,000 les enseñaron algunas de las que estaban en las 10,000, y ellos podían ver cuál había sido exactamente la que habían visto antes, porque nuestro cerebro es capaz de regresar y chequear la imagen. So when they did this study, they showed us 10,000 pictures to everybody, and then they showed the 10,000 pictures, and then they came back and they showed them 1,000 pictures, and within those 1,000 pictures, they showed some of the 10,000 pictures, and everybody was able to see the picture, and they said, you know, I saw this picture in the other batch you showed me. So our brain has the capability to remember remember those moments. So this is possible because our brains are so efficient at storing moments of a picture, capturing not just by the subject, but by visual qualities. You can bring this to mind actively. Is what we call a passing effect. This is what the neuroscience says. If you were asked to recall the news of an image from March, 6 months ago, you struggle with it. But if they show you a picture from that time, you instantly remember everything that happened. Now, when we see those pictures, our brain releases some hormones and triggers emotions in our brain, and we can start living the moment like it was yesterday. That's why it's so important to capture good pictures better than the bad moments, because we are able to bring to life the moments that we capture. I want you to go to the Bible and look at Judges chapter 6, verse 12. Quiero que vaya a Jueces, capítulo 6, versículo 12. Y dice, when the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, the Lord is with you, mighty warrior. Cuando el ángel se le apareció a Gedeón, le dijo, el Señor esté contigo, valiente. El Señor esté contigo, esforzado y valiente. Hombre esforzado y valiente. That's what Judge says. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, the Lord is with you, mighty warrior. Moments. So here we see Gideon, and let me give you a little history on what had happened with Gideon. Gideon was, just working at the fields, if you want to say it like that, and paraphrasing in different ways, working at the fields, and all of a sudden this angel, and the word of God says the angel of God, we can say it was Jesus, or we can say it was God, came and he was talking to him. But Gideon had just heard of what had happened in the past, like the people of Israel were taken out of Egypt, out of slavery, and taken out so they can be free, but they have fallen into the hands of the Midianites. Gedeón estaba hablando y estaba haciendo todo, sabía de que había salido de Egipto, que sus padres habían salido de ahí, sus abuelos habían salido de ahí, pero se encontraba el pueblo de Dios otra vez bajo las manos de los madianitas. They were still at the hands of the Midianites. And he was tired of what was happening, and he was tired of hearing the God that we had, the Jesus that we had, and their grandparents used to tell him, or I'm imagining they used to tell him, this is what God did. He took us out of Egypt. And then he was asking himself, well, where is he now that we are falling into the hands of these oppressors, of these enemies? Where is he now? And then the angel of God appeared to him. Entonces el ángel de Dios se le apareció a él. Cuando se le apareció a él, le dijo, hombre esforzado y valiente. He was when he came, the angel of God came to him, he was a mighty warrior. He wasn't no warrior. He was like, I'm the least of my family. I'm the youngest one. Nobody pays attention to me. I want you to see this. It was a moment that was going to change life for Gideon and for his whole family, for his whole town. But I believe Gideon did not understand, yet he was talking to one of the angels. Yo creo que Gedeón todavía no se había dado cuenta que él estaba hablando con el ángel de Dios. He wasn't talking with one of the angels, I'm sorry. He was talking to Jesus. He was talking to God himself. But he hadn't realized that he was having one of those moments that could change his life forever. And he changed his life and he changed the life of his family and the life of the country that he was living. I believe that sometimes Jesus is talking to us through different moments of our life and we don't realize he's talking to us. Yo creo que a veces Dios está hablándonos a nuestras vidas en diferentes momentos y no nos damos de cuenta porque estamos tan ocupados con lo que pasa, con nuestra rutina, con nuestros hijos, con nuestro trabajo, con lo que está en la pandemia. With everything that is going around, we do not know and we don't take a moment to have a moment with Jesus Christ. We don't realize that we are actually having a moment that we are talking to Jesus and he's actually trying to have a conversation with us and telling us, yes, you can go through this. Yes, you are going or you have fallen into this temptation. But yes, I'm trying to have a conversation with you so you can get out because you are a mighty warrior. Jesús diciendo a nosotros, yo quiero que tú salgas de ese vicio que estás y no nos damos de cuenta que es Jesús. A veces creemos que es simplemente una batalla que nosotros tenemos, and sometimes it's Jesus talking to us, telling us, I know you have fallen, I know you're going through this, but hey, I am here. I did it before, I can do it again. Gideon was just having this conversation. He couldn't believe it, and it's one of the person that you read in the Bible that he couldn't believe he was having a conversation, and he couldn't believe that he was being chosen to do all these things because he had no qualities. Let me tell you something. Jesus is not looking for qualities. Jesus is looking for somebody that has the heart and is able to have a moment with him. Sometimes the problem is not that that Jesus doesn't talk to us. The problem is that sometimes we don't realize he's actually been talking to us. So I'm trying to make a point here that Jesus is trying to talk to us, and then we have to realize and maybe capture that moment. Can you imagine if Gideon, if they hadn't taken a picture of Gideon actually talking to Jesus or to the angel of the Lord? ¿Se imaginan que se hubiera podido tomar una foto exactamente cuando Gedeón estaba hablando con el ángel de Dios o con Dios? The Bible tells us that Gideon was just working on the field, and all of a sudden this man starts talking to him. Where did this man came from? The Bible doesn't tell us, but what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes Jesus comes in a form of a song, sometimes he comes in the forms of a preaching, sometimes comes through a little kid, and sometimes come to a friend, sometimes come with when you're singing. But you gotta be able to capture that moment that you're having with Jesus that can change the life for you, for your family, for the town that you're living in. What I want to tell you today is that sometimes it might feel like we're going through stuff in our daily life. It might be in our business, it might be in a marriage, it might be when you're single and you feel alone. And you feel like you don't understand life. And we don't want to tell the promise to nobody else. Maybe when you find an alone moment, you can find Jesus talking to you. See, Gideon was by himself. The Bible just mentioned him working at the fields. And he was by himself. And I can imagine just mumbling and just saying, I can't believe my parents tell me that Jesus took me out of Egypt. Jesus took them out of Egypt. And where is he now? And, he was having a conversation. I'm imagining him having a conversation with himself, but he was by himself. You got to be able to find that moment where, it doesn't matter how hard it is, how difficult it is, how hard the problem is, or the situation that you're going through. It is a moment that you are by yourself that Jesus is actually trying to talk to you. Maybe you are in need of a friend and you trust no one. I want to tell you that there is a Jesus. There is a Jesus. And I am more than sure that he wants to have a great moment with you. Not just a friendship. He wants to have moments that will definitely change your life forever. Last Sunday, I spoke about creating environments where you can create a habit, and those habits will create your life. And it will be easier for you to have a conversation or to have a communication or to have a relationship with Jesus when you create environments, and those environments create habits in you. But once you create those habits, you have to take advantage of the moment when Jesus is speaking to you. Matthew 4:18 and 19 says, quiero que vayan a Mateo 4, del 18 al 19. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, called Peter, and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will make you fishers of men. Verse 20 says, and at once they left their net and followed him. It captures my attention when it says at once. At once they left their net and followed him. Me causa la atención cuando dice que de una dejaron las net y siguieron a Jesús. What a moment of opportunity they had, and they did not take it for granted. They actually took advantage of that moment. Qué oportunidad tuvieron ellos y realmente la agarraron y pudieron decir, vamos a seguir a Jesús. I know you might be telling me that's the disciples for sure, but they weren't disciples there. They were just fishermen. And it was a moment of a defining moment in their life where Jesus called them. They didn't know. I mean, they probably have heard who Jesus was, but they followed him. They took advantage of those moments. And that's what I'm trying to explain, to preach today to you, is that sometimes those moments, they are defining moments in our life that we got to take advantage of it. That we can't seize the opportunity that God is allowing us to talk to us. There's parts of our lives, there's problems in our life, there are moments in our life that we actually have to take the opportunity and take it. And take it. What a memorable moment the disciples were having. They might not have realized it, but if for sure that was a moment was going to change the future. Not only for them, but for their family, for their town, and even for all the way to us. It changed the whole world because they decided to follow Jesus, because they didn't let that moment, that opportunity go by. I bet every time they sat together and will remember that moment, they'll be happy. I mean, that will bring joy to them. What I know is that they did not miss the moment. They lived the moment and took advantage of it because Jesus was talking to them. What I'm trying to say with my preaching today is that we got to take advantage of the moment. Gideon was just working, and he was by himself, and he was doing all this on the fields and having a conversation with the angel of the Lord. He did not realize, I think he did not realize he was the angel of the Lord because he asked for signs. Yo no creo que él se daba de cuenta que Gedeón estaba hablando con el ángel de Dios porque él pidió por señales. But he did not let that moment go by. No dejó que ese momento se fuera. Sometimes Jesus is talking to us and we get interrupted and we let that moment go by. We let that moment, we forget about that moment that we were having with Jesus. Let us not miss those moments with Jesus. Let us not miss those moments that can change our life. Let us not miss those moments that are going to make our lives better. Those moments where you can sit and read the Bible. You know, there's moments in your life that we talk about creating habits. Creating environment to have good habits. Now I want to tell you something. You have to make an effort to having a long time with Jesus Christ. You have to have a long time so you can read the Bible. You have to have a long time so you can listen to some songs and maybe sing and be in the presence of the God of the Lord. But you have to create a long time to be with Jesus and have those moments. when I speak to my grandma or to people that I know that have been in Christian life and they have had those moments, when they have had those moments and you tell them to talk about it, it smile on their faces, and there's a smile on their faces when they talk about what a moment they had with Jesus. And I know Jesus is with us all the time, but there's moments that you have that you can capture. I've been married for 9 years and I've been with my wife, but I can pinpoint some moments that we had that were nice and personal. Maybe a vacation, maybe just walking by, maybe just driving by, but I had a moment alone with my wife. Those moments with Jesus Christ, those alone time with Jesus Christ are gonna make your life better, because when you go through problems, when you go through situations, when you go through different stuff in your life, you can go back and see those pictures of those moments with Jesus Christ, and are gonna bring life to your life. Read the Bible, read a devotional. Moments are the ones who make your life worth living for. Let us not miss when Jesus is speaking to us. It might be through a friend. It could be when you are by yourself. It could be through a friend or through a pastor. Do not miss that moment just because of the noise of life. Remember, Jesus usually speaks when you are alone. And I want to leave you with a challenge. I always want to do this. I want to leave you with a challenge. Number one, be intentional on finding a moment alone with Jesus. Número uno, quiero dejarlos con unos retos. Número uno, quiero que sea intencional en encontrar momentos a solas con el Señor. It might feel weird at the beginning, but find the moment, find the time between your busy life. I know you have your schedule in the morning, you get up, you do your routines, but try to find a moment when you can have a moment with Jesus Christ. Try to find an alone time where you can have a moment with Jesus Christ. Number two, once you find that moment, once you have and you know you were talking to Jesus, and you know you were talking with the Lord, or you know He was talking to you, I want you to capture that moment. I want you to take it and enjoy that moment that you have with Jesus. Enjoy the moment that you have with the Lord. Let nobody interrupt it, but enjoy that. Number two, enjoy that moment. Number three, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write it down. Put it on your phone. See, we can't take pictures of those moments, but you can put it on your phone. You can write it down on your journal. You can write it down, but you have to take advantage of those moments. And number four, do not take for granted those moments. I have had moments with Jesus Christ and in the presence of the Lord, and I remember most of them. But I wish I remember all of them. It's not when I'm with all of my friends that, we start talking about it, that I'm reminded of those moments. And those moments make my Christian life worth living for. And when I'm going through situations, when I'm going through stuff that I don't want to, that I don't want to continue in this Christian life, Jesus is there, and those moments bring me back to life. I wanna mention one thing, is that sometimes and I don't know why I'm saying this, but sometimes when anxiety attacks, those moments that you had with Jesus will bring you back out. Y a veces cuando la ansiedad ataca, cuando vienen esos momentos donde te sientes solo, donde sientes que la vida no vale la pena, donde sientes todas estas cosas, los momentos que hayas vivido con el Señor, los momentos que hayas atesorado en tu corazón, en tu mente, son los que te van a ayudar a salir de donde estás. Yo sé que tú quieres salir, yo sé que tú quieres salir de ese estado de ansiedad, pero si recuerdas esos momentos, si lograste capturar esos momentos, si lo lograste escribir, si lo lograste poner en algo, ve, agárralos, léelos. Y eso te va a ayudar a seguir adelante y a agarrar fuerzas y a poder encontrar esos momentos a solas con Jesús. I'm not saying those moments are going to happen all the time, but when you find it, when you see it, please capture it capture it, put it, write it down, do something with it. So when you later on, those pictures, those moments that you wrote down can bring you back life to Jesus Christ. Let us praise. Dear God, we thank you for everything. We thank you for what you have done. We thank you for those moments that we have had with you. Let us not take it for granted. Let us not take for granted those moments, the opportunity you have when you talk to each and every one of us. In the name of Jesus Christ, help us live a better Christian life. Let us know Jesus. Let us, Father, be more humble so that you can shine through us. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. God bless you, and I hope to see you next week. Amen.